You're listening to The Burning Truth. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am, I'll repeat that. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, dude and dudettes. I am your host, Matt Burns, and I have to apologise for this week already, straight off the bat, because originally, last week, we introduced a new member for The Burning Truth, which was John Bloor. Unfortunately, originally, he was scheduled to be here this week, honest, but unfortunately due to arrangements he thought it was arranged for the following week. Unfortunately it's not. It was actually this week, and due to family commitments as such, he has not been able to make it for this episode. So as much as I know some of you might have been interested in to hear what we have to say and discuss in regards to NXT TakeOver Phoenix and the Royal Rumble in as such, in the massive build of how we've been leading into it, what's new and everything, I am going to touch on one or two bits of it, but not going to go into full discussion, as I feel as though a lot of the stuff that we had planned to discuss can't be done without John being here. So a lot of it's going to be held off, so we're going to save that for next week. Aim for next week. But with it being next week, we won't be able to discuss a lot of to be able to really discuss about NXT TakeOver Phoenix. But what we will do is we'll just state that when we have watched it, we will be discussing on how great it is, how good it is. But we will keep it spoiler free, because as I've stated in the past, it might be a lot easier for you, instead of you hearing us talk about, oh, what happened, this happened, that happened. We want to keep it as much spoiler free to give everybody a chance to be able to watch it. And of course, if you want to spoil it for yourself, you could possibly, which way would you prefer to do it? Hear my voice, moronic on, or would you rather just look up on the website and actually just read the results either through Facebook, WWE.com, whatever website it is. Either way, you'd be able to do it a lot quicker and be able to do it in more bite-sizable chunks and in your own time. But unfortunately this week, John Bloor is not here, as he has got prior engagements from family. So we will be holding off on the discussion for the Royal Rumble and most likely changing the details of the NXT TakeOver Phoenix. But just to point out, the predictions will hopefully be getting released this week as well through the Burning Truth website, just to point that out for you all. And I thought to just get that mentioned all out. Anyway, let's get down to why we're here. We are here for wrestling. And the funniest thing about it is, one topic of wrestling I always keep bringing up every week as the main focal point, which would be UK Wrestling Alliance. Now, UK Wrestling Alliance have just had a very, very busy week as such, because what's ended up happening is they haven't just gone on and announced who their official ring announcer is, which I will add is Stuart Summers. I can also say absolute fantastic pick. I know, I've actually seen him myself. I've been to many shows. If I'm not mistaken, I've even reviewed some of the shows he's actually been at, with most of them being at the Academy, also known as Academy Pro Wrestling, APW. I can also say, great pick. The man is very, very entertaining, and I'm pretty sure he will be able to announce all the top talent that will be on the UKWA 0 Hour show, and most likely try to keep things in check. I can also say he is very, very entertaining, knows how to get the crowd going, knows how to get the chants, get the cheers, and an all-round great person to know as well. But while happy with that announcement being released of Stuart Summers as the official UKWA ring announcer, event announcer, because he might not even just not just be doing the wrestling shows. There could be more. Who knows? But we'll have to wait and see what comes about in regards to it. Now, as I've just mentioned, I did say it about UKWA 0 Hour. Now, what's so interesting with that is this week, in one hit, UKWA, UK Wrestling Alliance, have actually released the full card for the show. And I can honestly say what an absolute card it is. And I know most of the time we don't normally do card for card, but it's one that, if I am attending it, which I will be, definitely for sure, and I'm able to get anything out, any shows I am going to, I will get the card mentioned as such to be able to advertise as much as possible. But UKWA 0 Hour, February 9th, you definitely want to be there, as such, because it's at Wilson Hall, the Furlongs Collegiate Hales Owen, and it's going to be an absolute stellar event, one not to miss. But anyway, I'll just cleanly state all the matches, and as for the actual what's going on with the matches, I'm going to save that for next week as well, when John's here, so we can have a natural discussion in regards to it more, and to get both sides of our opinion in regards to it. But so far, officially announced, we've got AJ Hughes' Open Challenge, which is for the Fusion Pro Wrestling Grand Championship. We'll have to wait and see, but there is some heavy speculation because, if I'm not mistaken, AJ Hughes and his boys, Anarchy, have been having chat with higher management, and higher management have made a ruling as such with that match, which is that if AJ is successful, then his boys, his faction, Anarchy, and all members will be officially joining the roster. However, the downside is if he loses, he could end up losing the Fusion Pro Wrestling Grand Championship, which that could cause some, AJ to be explaining a lot of details and probably put him in deep water in more than one company. Now, we'll have to wait and see as such in regards to that. But let's get further down on the card. We've got Paul Malin, Malicious Paul Malin versus Big Rich. Absolute astounding match. I didn't exactly see myself, coming about, but we'll have to wait and see what happens with that. Nightshade versus Chantel Jordan, absolute stellar match. One that would, it's basically, seeing somebody coming up, rising to the ranks against someone who is already a top talent. We'll have to wait and see. And in a shock twist of events for UKWA 0 Hour, I believe they've even got the Italian Championship Wrestling's Italian Tag Team Championship being defended by Connors and Black against Violence and Volume and Hellbound. Wow. Absolute stellar. That is, in case anybody wants to know who Violence and Volume is, they've got the Almighty Bjorn and Loudmouth Davey Thompson, and Hellbound is Alton Thorne and Barricade. Absolute, interesting match, but from what I've been informed, that the Italian Championship Wrestling have given the all clear for this match to take place, so it's possibly already sanctioned. So that's an interesting dynamic. We'll have to wait. We'll have to find out. I could give me input now, but I'm going to say that for next week. But in regards to the actual, if you want to see it, you'll have to be there to see what happens. And the last two matches are Eddie Martins versus Dante Durden, where both of them have actually come from the same training school, same trainers. One of them being one of the trainers being the heavyweight House of Pain Sticks, and of course Paul Malin, who is also on the UKWA roster. But we'll have to, there's plenty of information in regards to that going forth. But that is one that is going to be an interesting match straight off the gate. And of course, the main event, which I would predict being the King of the Kingdom Championship match, which is Luke Basham versus Charles Kelsey. And if I am not mistaken, in regards to it, Luke Basham is currently at 203. This is the 203rd day he has currently still been the King of the Kingdom champion. Absolutely amazing. I look for he is setting the bar high for being the longest reigning and defending King of the Kingdom champion. We'll have to wait and we'll have to see a lot more in regard. You'll have to wait until next week for my own personal view in regards to that matchup as such. But it's one that I would recommend anybody to check out, because these two have been at each other's throats in other companies. But we'll have to wait and see what happens, on the day, because who knows what could happen. Anything can happen. And with that would be the full card of 0 Hour for, 0 Hour, UKWA 0 Hour. But great card top to bottom. That's anything I'm going to basically state in regards to that. But as for what my personal views are on each match I will save that for next week when we've got John Bloor on the show. So we can actually have more of a back and forth discussion instead of just one person's view of it. But anyway, let's get on to more news, which is from WWE, which is Akam of the Authors of Pain has reportedly suffered a leg injury, which could mean time off, which could mean Authors of Pain being off television for quite some time, which is a shame, because and it always is a shame when you hear about any injuries as such, and it's one that I hope that he's able to recover fast, so that the Authors of Pain could come straight back onto TV. Because at this moment in time, I feel as though they need to be able to get on TV as much as possible, because the sort of not have been able to showcase what they can do as much lately. But then again, they have had a lot of big teams going up, a lot of reveals, a lot of the NXT, new people coming up, which I will state this off the bat in regards to the recent NXT call-ups. WWE, what are you doing? How not to do NXT call-ups? I can also say it's how you are introducing them is unbelievable. Instead of actually putting them in a situation where they can showcase what they are, who they are, you're putting them in stupid segments, stupid moments, and you're still making it look like you haven't decided which show they're going on. Pick one for them, for God's sake, and plant them there. Instead of going, oh, we might just tease it there, tease it here, tease it there, tease it here. If you're going to have the separate shows, be separate. Have them separate. But don't have them going in between that. I might go here, I might go there. We don't know. It just looks stupid when you start doing that. But as such, with certain silly things that have been going on, there is with that, I hope that when they actually do get the official on the shows, majorly with major storylines, that they are getting picked on the right selection, and that they are able to hit the ground running and be as successful as possible. But in the next piece, I'm going to state, which is to do with the revival. Now, let me just state this. Take it with a pinch of salt, because it's only rumoured. It's only rumour, only hearsay, not 100%. Supposedly, at this moment in time, the Revival are rumoured to have requested for, to be leaving WWE, that they have put their request in to leave the WWE, and a lot of people are speculating if they are going to be leaving, or if they are leaving, could they be heading to AEW, which is All Elite Wrestling. Now that could be a possibility, or it could be some personal matters, and there could be other reasons why they might want to be leaving. But at the same time, it's just, a lot of people are saying it's a bit fishy and a bit, weird how it's come about. Now, what my personal view is, if they are leaving, then WWE have made a absolute mess of the situation with the Revival. Now, the Revival, when they were on NXT, were the top team, knocking out 5-star matches, stellar matches, boom, 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 bring them up, and you've got them doing the same stuff again. Currently, I'm surprised. It could have, the fact that they might be leaving could be the fact that they haven't been given anything new, and the fact that they've got them constantly against the Lucha House Party. Come on, WWE, you should be treating these with a lot more respect and a lot better. They are, as much as they joke about saying top team, they are an absolute stellar tag team that deserves a lot more recognition. And it's just unfortunate that we're at this stage. But that is only if it's rumoured that they are leaving. If they are staying, then, I'm happy. But WWE, pull your finger out with them and basically, help them. Help them get, push them more. Start getting them in top matches, because at the moment, you're not making them. You've sent them from top guys to, we'll just put them there because we felt like it's just part of the one of the spare minutes of the show, and it's just stupid how they're just being mistreated. It's painstakingly obvious. If you don't know if you don't know, what is so stupid is that when there's a moment, storyline, that they don't know what to do with the talent, ask the talent what they think that they should be doing. And I know a lot of the time they have story writers who are putting out material and everything. If somebody was producing that content, as in repeat, rinse, repeat, and it's not working, it's not getting anybody over, instead of considering of demoting the talent, demote the damn story writer. Because it's because I know in some cases a story can depend on the wrestler, and a wrestler can probably get any story over. But at the same time, you've also got to speculate on if that story is actually working with said wrestlers, or because the wrestler's not doing it, or is it because the story is that ridiculous that they're currently going through. But at this moment in time, I supposedly hope the rumour of the Revival isn't true, and such. But what makes it worse is supposedly the rumour isn't just the Revival. It's supposedly also being mentioned that Dolph Ziggler is rumoured that his contract's coming up soon, and with Dolph, I feel as though they have done so much with him. They managed to get him up, and then they just don't pull the trigger. It's like, yeah. It shouldn't be like that. If you're going to put someone in the top case, put him up there. Don't just keep going, and then force your own guys into it. When a talent is naturally getting over with the crowd, let that crowd reaction push it. And you understand that you might have your own guys to be, but you also need to listen to the crowd. You need to be able to listen to what the audience wants. If they want it, supply that. If there's a demand for it, supply it. Butts and seats, automatically, right there. But if they have got a plan, then fair enough. Execute it, pull away, and then move on. You haven't. You're sort of done it. Go for it. No, just don't pull the trigger. And it's not once, it's multiple times on Dolph, and I feel sorry for him. Now, if it is that he does end up leaving and end up, most likely he could end up heading straight over to AEW. Potentially, that's going to be the biggest thing when anybody is potentially leaving WWE. Everyone's going to be thinking, he's going over to AEW. Reportedly, like I've already stated, it might not be heading over to AEW. Might be wanting to take some time off, want to recover mentally, and probably get himself back on track, and possibly, who knows, could end up wanting to go onto the independents, and it could involve AEW, but it may not. It's not 100%. But like I stated at the start of when I started discussing the Revival and Dolph Ziggler, take this with a massive pinch of salt because it's only rumoured, not official, only rumoured. Now, in regards to wrestling for the UK, I can honestly state right now there is one product that is coming out tomorrow, which is going to be very, very interesting, which is turnbuckletv.com. Now, what is so interesting about this is a website like the WWE Network, but mostly for some independent companies. Now, with Turnbuckle TV, they're offering subscriptions, for a company. You pay so much, and that, it's going to be interesting to see how that massively works. And I highly doubt it's going to be on the level of WWE, but it's interesting to see because I've seen a lot of British wrestling companies on there, and I'm just having a quick check now. Unfortunately, I know some of the companies that are currently on there. For example, like Wrestle4, Nothing But Wrestling, and I believe Wrestling in Hinckley is on there. But I'm just going to get that officially checked out right now, which I believe, if I'm not mistaken, this is something you can also access on your phone as well, which straight away is absolute great if you're able to. And I'm just checking on it quickly right now, which just from the idea, it's an all new on demand. We've got Iron Fist Wrestling, Wrestling in Hinckley, Full Force Wrestling, the Wrestling League, Ultimate Pro Wrestling, Wrestle4, SOS Wrestling League, Project Taken, 4th Gen Wrestling, Nothing But Wrestling, and that's a lot of it is British wrestling companies, but it could end up expanding into much wider audiences. But fingers crossed that could end up going well, and it's another platform for wrestling to get pretty much out to the public, which I hope it all goes well. So, from the Burning Truth to turnbuckletv.com, hope you do well. Have a great debut, great first show, and then hope it all goes well when it actually officially goes live, which is tomorrow. Now, last thing I want to mention is, as such, which is most likely going to be for next week, John will be here, John Blow will actually be here, we will be discussing NXT TakeOver Phoenix, just to add, spoiler free of course, and of course we will be discussing the Royal Rumble in much more further detail, and who knows, we could even end up mentioning, reiterating some of the predictions that we probably get out during the week, and we could be even stating why we think this, why we think that, and of course we will be also discussing the actual matchups of UKWA 0 Hour as well. But with that, I'm going to officially now get this discussion over to the plugs, which is please check out UKWA, also known as UK Wrestling Alliance, UKWM, UK Wrestling Media. They do absolutely fantastic work. Manchester Pro Wrestling Academy, if you want to learn how to wrestle, as they have beginner classes on Monday, £10 per class, which is 7 p.m, 9 p.m. As for regarding to locations, please check out their social media to find the location of where the training school is. And I can also state, absolutely amazing training wrestling academy, top notch. And the next one I'm about to announce is JG Printing and Stitching, which has a GoFundMe page, and rumour has it at the moment with JG Printing that he could be selling up the business for somebody else to take over. And if that does happen, I feel sorry for the actual owner, which I believe is Jamie Gilbert, and the man's worked hard to get that off, to get that as high as he has. He has damn well worked hard, and I hope he's able to get some funding in regards to be able to keep it going. Please, Jamie, keep believing, and who knows, that GoFundMe page could end up hitting its target a lot sooner than you might expect. Give it time. Who knows? Fingers crossed he doesn't have to, sell it on. But at the moment in time, rumour has it he is selling it on. Which, if he does officially sell it on, it will be a shame. But when that does happen, I'm not too sure if I will be continuing on the announcements as such, as I will not have this, I wouldn't know who the people who are taking over, but I could end up talking to them and finding out in regards to it, and could keep the shout-outs going. But at the moment in time, please, if you are able to donate to help out a friend in Jamie Gilbert, please, as in a colleague of mine, a friend, and absolute all-round awesome guy for printing and stitching, please check out his GoFundMe page. And if anybody wants a direct link to it, please click on go to JT Printing and Stitching social media, and you'll be able to find the link on there. I will hopefully be getting a link for that out onto the Burning Truth social media as well. And please check out, the following charities as such, like Mind Changes Changes for Health and Wellbeing. As the information that they have on their websites could actually prove massively useful, could always be the information that they release and produce could end up helping you, either helping yourself or someone that you know. The information is vital. It could end up changing someone's life. You never know. I also recommend you check out, Team 4-Star, as they've always got great content coming out, especially with the Dragon Ball Z Bridge series. Please check out bands such like the New Breeding Kamens. Of course, I'll have to give a massive shout out to Batchamania. Woo! You're welcome, Matthew. Keep up the great content, and please check out the following YouTube channels, which are Philip DeFranco. The man keeps producing news in a very, very very entertaining and intelligent way to his crowd, and I always have to check him out almost every whenever he's on, almost, which I believe he does Monday to Thursday, pretty much giving out news, and then the Fridays where he goes back and pretty much he makes it a discussion, a bit like how I would love this to be a discussion with the fans, with the Burning Truth public. But as soon as anybody does send out as a message, we will most likely try and get it onto the show and join the discussion. And of course, when Fandom strikes, please check her out. She is absolutely stellar, amazing voice, and someone that always gets me laughing. And like I said previously in weeks, she is somebody who I did find out on another mobile social media app, which is TikTok. Especially, I believe she's actually holding off on not doing as many thoughts that keep me up at night as such, but she's still producing some great content. Hopefully she should bring that back more regularly, but She's always absolutely entertaining. But please check it out. Luke Moto with his vlogs. He's still being entertaining as such and doing his best. Always been entertaining. Hashtag, Team Moto. Which I've got to say, it's hashtag Team Moto for myself. I always check out his content. It's great. And of course, I always recommend you all to please check out your local wrestling shows. Just for some examples of certain shows, I usually check out, which are United Wrestling, Academy Pro Wrestling, Future Championship Wrestling, Fusion Pro Wrestling for You, and many, many others. I could go on for days, weeks, lists. And, of course, UK Wrestling Alliance. I could go on forevermore for how many there is that I would love to give shout-outs to, but there are too many to list. But always please check out your local wrestling, and of course please always check out their social media, because you could end up finding out that they give out some great prizes, great giveaways, and could end up even finding out that they actually you can end up winning some possible tickets as well for future shows. Always check out the social media. Always check out your local wrestling. And of course, the last thing I want to plug is The Burning Truth, which is the website is www.theburningtruthuk.com, where the website could be where you listen to me live right now, and it's also somewhere where you can be possibly listening to this as a past episode, as a past broadcast. It's also where you can find out interviews, show reviews, be it written or audio. It's also where you can get some snazzy t-shirts and also some great mugs, which do make some great presents and great gifts. Absolutely, they do. Blog section where I will hopefully be putting the upcoming predictions on, and of course I will be I know I keep saying it every week. We'll be hopefully getting some blogging done soon. We've also got the contact page if you want to contact us. Please check that out, and some of the links that I've already mentioned, or some of the things I want to give shout outs to, we've got a links page which we've already got, where you can go click on it and take you to the contents I've already mentioned. But just in case, of course, any links that are on there, I am not held, myself, The Burning Truth, cannot be held responsible for any content that you may find inappropriate when clicking on that link, as unfortunately, when you get to the end of that link, unfortunately, The Burning Truth does not know what they currently always have updated on their page. But I just thought to give that massive shout out, just mention that just in case. But I'm pretty sure that they usually have some great content for you to check out, and are usually suitable for all viewers, of course. And of course, please check out our social media, which is YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. The Twitter handle does have a bit of a different name, which I'll spell it out for you, which is WRESLING/THWALL. And of course, please check us out on Spotify for past episodes. And of course, last thing I will state, please always, as this is now the wrap up right now, I will state, please, as always check out your local wrestling. But of course, I will hopefully catch you all next week. And just a bit of a quick shout out before I actually go. This Friday, I'll actually be attending another show as such, which is World of Sport. So I could even have a discussion about that next week as well, as I will be attending the live event World of Sport that is happening this Friday in Hanley. Woohoo! Can't wait to go. But with that, as always, please stay well, stay safe, and of course, please, always check out your local wrestling. Until then, I'll catch you next week.